Hi, welcome to this episode of Thai Food. For this episode, I'm going to do sauteed green beans. Now, for the green beans, I prefer a French cut green bean, but I seem to have a little trouble finding them in this area. So I just took some regular green beans out of the freezer and opened the package and kind of sliced them with my knife in half. Not ideal for what I want. I would prefer French cut, but I'm going to deal with this for now. I'm probably going to order a bean Frencher off of eBay. Found it for like under $20 for a manual one. Clamps right onto the side of the counter, and you just crank it, and it French cuts the green beans. Being told it was about $23 with shipping and handling, which isn't too bad for a manual one. They get more expensive. There's electric ones if you really need it, but I don't see the need for it at the moment. So I'm going to start by preheating my little skillet here. I'm going to do it at 325, and I want to get my tablespoon of butter that I got here in there. I'm going to do 1 tablespoon of butter without any paper, hopefully. Yep, we're good. Okay, so I got a tablespoon of butter in there, and to that I'm going to add a tablespoon of oil as well. Extra virgin olive oil. Why don't you hold that over the skillet, kiddo, while you measure it? There, in case you spill it a little. I've got a mixture of garlic cooking oil and olive oil in here, and the garlic cooking oil is made with just a regular oil as far as I know. I haven't actually looked at it. I just know it says garlic cooking oil, and I like the garlic flavor it imparts, so it works for me. There we go. Go ahead. So 1 level tablespoon of oil. We're all set with the oil. That's good, Shiloh. And we're getting this heated up, and get my butter moving around. The reason I mix the butter and the oil is because there's water and solids that are in the butter, even though it's made with milk fat, and mixing with the oil kind of raises the temperature at which the butter browns, which is ideal for cooking like this. It adds a buttery flavor to everything as well. Next, I got 2 cloves of garlic that I sliced, and I'm going right in now with them. And that's because I don't want a really strong garlic flavor, but I want it, to have decent garlic flavoring to it. I can already smell the garlic flavor coming out of it. Now, next I've got 1 small onion sliced, and I just kind of made slices out of it. And that's what I want because it's going to match the length of the beans. So if you'll bring that over for me, kiddo, thank you. We're just going to go ahead and go right in with the onion. And again, just sliced onion. That's good enough. And I want to get that in and get it broken up, and then I'm going to go right in with the beans. And this was just 1 package of the frozen green beans at the store. And like I said, you can leave them whole if you want. I like small ribbons of green bean when I do this, because then the flavor develops thoroughly through the beans because they're cut smaller. But if you want the bigger chunks, you'll just have flavor on the outside mostly while they're cooked. And we're going to go ahead and dump the beans in at this point. I've got the onions all broken up. There we go. Get all the little pieces in. If I had the French cut green beans, I used to be able to find them in the frozen section, but not so much now. I would have just opened the package and dumped them in that way. Yes, you can get it canned. I don't like canned vegetables for eating, unless I'm making like a corn cake, and then I used, I'll use, canned corn for making a corn cake. But other than that, I really don't care for canned vegetables at all. So it's totally your choice. If you want to use the canned French cut green beans, you could do that. But, so now we're going to add black pepper and salt. We got I believe it's a quarter teaspoon, sorry. It's a quarter teaspoon of black pepper that we're going to add to this. We want it nice and level. Make sure it's totally full. Yep, there you go. And scrape it off the top. Nope. You see this flat section right there? That's for you to scrape that. Now, go the other way, yeah, like that, so it falls into it. There you go, just like that. Go ahead and sprinkle it in. I'll get that mixed around. And next we're going to do 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And salt's going to help draw some of the moisture out of this as well. That's good. Good job, kiddo. There we go. And that's really all there is to this. It's very simple, but it's very delicious too. I believe that's about 5 ingredients. One of my friend's mother said she watches my videos, but she doesn't really make anything on there because she's a 5 ingredient or less woman. She told me I needed to make more recipes that took 5 ingredients or less. Well, that's kind of hard to do if you want it to taste good, but with this one, I found it kind of easy because I've made it this way before, and my wife has even eaten these. But this is about all I need to make this taste good, really. I mean, if you count the butter and oil, we're probably at like 6 or 7 ingredients. But who counts that? I don't even think the Food Network show counts the salt and pepper when you use that. If you're doing like Guy's grocery games, those are always at the station for them. They hardly ever have to buy spices. So we're just getting this sauteed around. You pretty much want to cook it long enough that the onions start to caramelize and, you know, get brownish in color, and, you know, get a little brown on the beans. It's not going to hurt nothing. Makes them taste better, in my opinion. If you want the beans cooked less, you can hold off putting them in. But I like them to be just as done as the onions, and that's why I put them in when I do. So it's pretty much just cooking it through at this point. You know, getting the beans and everything cooked to the doneness that you like. And sure, you could, you know, microwave the beans and then put them in at the end if you wanted to, but then they won't get the flavor of the onion and garlic all cooked in together. I don't want it to sit too long and burn either. That's why I keep moving it like I am. Let it get a little cooking here. At this point, everything's pretty much soaked up that butter and oil, and it's got a nice coating on it. So it's not going to be too, you know, greasy or anything. If I'd put any more in, it probably would be, but everything's got a nice coating on it, and that's what I was going for. Before, when I've made this, I didn't really measure, so it's just one of them things, trying to get used to measuring stuff. And that, of course, that garlic I used, you saw it had a bit of a green tinge to it. Again, that was a failed attempt for pickled garlic. The garlic flavor was just way too strong with it. So that'll add a nice little bit of acid in here from the pickling brine, and kind of round this out a little bit as well. If you wanted to, you could always add a little bit of vinegar to it. Totally your choice. But we're just going for a saute here. Open air saute. I want, you know, a lot of the moisture to cook out of this because I don't want it to be too wet. And when you use frozen vegetables, you get a lot of moisture with them as well. So you got to watch, you know, how wet this gets, because you don't want it to be soupy. You want it to be kind of fresh tasting. And there's an idea also, if you've got a bean French cutter for the beans, using the French green beans that are fresh, that'd be the way to go as well for this. I think that might be ideal even. So hopefully I can order myself a cutter soon, because I know the green bean season's coming up in a couple months here. Actually, not even a couple months, about a month and a half, if that. Our corn here is, let's see, middle of May almost, and our corn's already about a foot tall. Gotta love the South. I think in New York they're just starting to plant the corn. It's already about a foot tall here. That means middle of June, corn will be done here, and they'll be planting a second crop. Will you grab me a fork, kiddo, so I can test this? Either place. I'm going to check and see how done my beans are at this point. Checking for flavor. Definitely got good flavor. Just needs to go a little bit longer. Beans are still a little crunchy, but not bad. They're about 3/4 of the way cooked, which is about where I want them. And garlic keeps sticking to my spatula here instead of getting incorporated. Not that that's a bad thing. You could always mince the garlic for this as well, or if you wanted to substitute roasted garlic, you could do that as well. And mix it in with the oil and the butter in the beginning, and then put your beans and onions in there and let it coat everything. That would come out really good as well. Give it more of a garlic flavor. We're getting a nice good sear on this. I can see some bits of brown showing up on some of the beans, which is what I'm going for. Just kind of making it U-shaped right now to follow the heating element in this. That's the way it's shaped. Let it sit on there and get a brownness to it. Caramelize the onion a little bit. But we're pretty much done. That's about all there is to this. When you pull it off, if you want a little more salt to it, you can always add more salt. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add another 1/4 teaspoon right now, or 1/8 of a teaspoon is what I'm going to do. I think it needs just a little more salt. So we'll add another 1/8 of a teaspoon in here and get it mixed in. Go ahead and sprinkle it all around, kiddo. Good job. There we go. Definitely want to taste as you're cooking, because you never know, it might need more. I think we have enough pepper on there because I don't want it spicy with the pepper. So I'll get the salt mixed in and we should be good to go here. And of course, once you take this off and you put it back in the dish that I had the beans in, it'll continue to cook a little bit anyways. That's basically all there is to it. I'm going to check this one more time here. Do the cheater's method. If I can get it to stay. There we go.
Nope.
Of course not. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. That is perfect. Go ahead and turn this off. Pull the plug. Is it going to stay? Nope. Doesn't want to stay. There we go. Alrighty. Watch yourself, kiddo.
Yep.
There we are. I didn't spill too much, just a little bit. Hear this clicking a little bit as it cools down already. There we are. There you have it. My sauteed green beans. Preferably French cut if you can find them. But however you like them cut, you can do it. That's all there is to it, folks. Thanks for tuning in to Thai food. The salinity of these is perfect, spot on. Plenty of flavor from the onions, plenty of garlic flavor, even though we put it in early. And thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to subscribe to my Thai food channel on YouTube. Check out my Facebook group, Thai Food. Also on Twitter and Instagram. Have a good one, and don't forget the little bell icon so you can get notified.